You know, she told me I was obsessive and too in touch with my feelings.
Those are not the words I would use.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
How were you guys introduced to High Fidelity? Was it the book? Was it this script? Was it the John Cusack movie? How did you guys get into it?
In our personal life or in regard to this project?
Life.
I saw the movie first.
Yeah, it's the movie.
I thought it was incredible when I was
Yeah.
in probably middle school or something. And then went back and read the book on my own. And then was lucky enough to be a part of this thing, like being, sort of reimagined and reinterpreted, and then went back and watched and reread again. And yeah, that was it for me.
Who is Clyde within the show? Like, if you're familiar with the movie, like, how does Clyde, is it a whole new character? How does it play?
Yeah, Clyde, there's really no parallel in the film or in the book, but I think was created in a way to jump off from the initial relationship in the film and book that's sort of falling apart, and then gives the show room to explore potentially other relationships.
Rob goes back and revisits these like big heartbreaks in her life. Do you guys have any desire to do that in your own lives?
No. Well, I mean, in a healthy way, maybe, but not to try and figure out something specifically like she does, or the book or the movie does. That just seems a little too far.
Yeah,
Makes for good television, but I don't know if I want to do it.
that's heavy.
Yeah, you guys kind of try to talk her out of it a little bit, right?
A whole lot.
We recognize that
It's a horrible idea. Full of
But she's gonna do it
destruction.
anyway.
And then we have to hear about it.
There's a famous line from High Fidelity that's like, "What's important is what you like, not who you're like."
Right. It's problematic.
It's problematic. But do you ever find yourself being interested or disinterested in other people based on like what they do or don't like? Like,
Of course.
where
Yeah.
someone's like,
Yeah,
"I'm
I mean,
into this
I think
show,"
that's
and
part of
you're
the
like,
connection,
yeah.
right? That's the connection. Usually it's physical first, or that person catches your eye, and then in the beginning of the conversation, I feel like that first date or that first, however long that initial conversation is, this is me, this is my like 10-minute bio, and it's like, well, this is my 10-minute bio, and where can we intersect? And I think that's sometimes when it is like, oh, okay, no, we can't, but you're fine as shit, so we're just gonna be, lovers, you know what I mean? Or it's like, okay, cool, this and this. And sometimes what's interesting is like, if you really like someone, you start learning and educating yourself on their likes, which can get tricky because you're like, I don't really like it, but I'm like gonna learn about it because I like them.
Does she seem sadder than usual, or is it the sweater?
Sweater.
What did you learn about Record Store Life? Are you music nerds in your own
You should
mind?
answer
Do you
that.
have vinyl or tapes?
Because I feel like you were I like pretended like I was working, but you were really like for real. You were really.
You were like
working.
really flipping through stuff.
I did. Well, I have a record player before all this. I wasn't the biggest record head, but now I've gotten really into it because we got to go to I can't remember the name of it, but we went to this record store in Brooklyn just to kind of like before we started shooting, just to get the lay of the land. What are the do's and don'ts? Like, what would someone that works in a record store always do? What would they never do? And so we learned a lot. You check for scratches. You have a certain little corduroy kind of brush situation that you do. I mean, things I'd never even thought about before. But what I really learned and what I appreciate was I used to do this as a kid, kind of like what Zoe was talking about before, but like listening to an entire album and like just sitting there with it instead of just kind of doing something on the go. And so it's a really meditative thing, like to just sit and listen to an album, flip it over, sit and listen to the rest of it, and then you're done with it. And so, makes you still, makes you kind of check in with some stuff.
Why am I doomed to be rejected? Seriously. So I'm gonna ask them. My desert island, all-time, top 5 most memorable heartbreaks.
So you're really going to talk to all of them?
Yeah.
A big thing on the show, top 5s, always important. Do you guys have cumulatively like a top 5 favorite love songs? Because it does come out on Valentine's Day.
It does. So we gotta get our minds in that space. Top 5 love songs.
Like if you each have one, and then you can kind of decide on 2 other ones.
Top 5 anything just gives me anxiety. To be very honest with you. That I'm like.
Setting the Woods on Fire, Hank Williams.
Oh.
I would say anything Etta James. because I feel like she's from her gut, speaking on how she feels.
Be Here in the Morning by Townes Van Zandt.
Ooh, you took Towns. I was gonna take Towns. Wait, there's another one by Towns. What's a good one? To Live Is to Fly.
Yeah.
It's not. It's kind of a love song, but he's writing it about someone that he loves.
You got one more?
You got one more.
I'd say like Pink Moon.
Where in the dogs can find her. God damn. I don't know why that's the first. Isn't that called Interstate
Stone
Love Song?
Temple Pilots.
Okay, no, that's not. That's the wrong one.
What's that Stevie one that's like, I never dreamed you leave in summer? That one makes me cry. That one got, when it comes on, I'm like, turn it off.
Oh wait, and what's that Elton John one that was like, just because you look wonderful tonight? What's the, just the way you look? What is it?
Is that in the movie where Taron Egerton is like looking at him?
I haven't seen the movie.
Oh my God.
But like, the most wonderful that you're in the world.
Your song.
That's a good love song.